Alright, a brand new day. What's today? What am I doing today? And how will it challenge me? Oh, let me check my to-do list. Check to see if the doors are locked. Let me go do that. Get dressed for video. Check. I'm just gonna wear what I slept in. Set up lighting. That's good enough. Check. Eat breakfast, did that a little while ago. Do video. Well, it's a bit late then. Okay, 5.5. Pick your poison. What does that mean? Oh no. Great. This is just awesome. Dang it. Well, I guess I might as well do this one. Looks like I set myself up. Got the cliff notes. Well, time to go do this. What is up, all you awesome subscribers? I'm sorry for the name change so suddenly, but rather freaking instantly. I became a little bit paranoid about people finding out who I was and where I live. So did my parents. Blame them. Actually, no, don't. They're the ones who raised me. Oh, great, my sunglasses got bent. And I was going to use those from a Let's Play so I could hide my identity. Well, what is there to say about this album? I thought it was good. I thought it was decent. So, to give my opinion accurately would be asking a little bit more than usual, but I can do that. But a little history first. Human After All is the third album created by the band Daft Punk, who formed in 1993 and officially stopped releasing music 2 years ago. Their last officially released album was 2013's Grammy-winning Random Access Memories featuring Pharrell Williams, Nile Rodgers, Giorgio Moroder, Julian Casablancas, Panda Bear, Paul Williams, I think I already said him, and DJ Falcon. Their first album was essentially a compilation album called Homework. They did it by using their home studio equipment. Kind of self-explanatory. Their second album was actually a soundtrack to a movie that they co-produced called Interstellar 5555, the story of the secret star system. It's an anime flick. So if you're a weeb, or my friends, go watch it. Yeah, making a joke at my best friend's expense. My favorite. The album was called Discovery, and it served as a bit of a soundtrack. I already said that. But it's not a perfect album, I will say that, but it's more of an amalgamation of all the good things about all types of music that's popular in today's society. It pushed the envelope of what you could do with electronic music by using synthesizers and synthesizers that sounded like guitars. This was their failed experiment in the metal genre. I only say failed because it got slammed by critics and fans who were there for the first two albums. So, why don't we just dive into this? I hate to rip this album a new one, because I love it. But let's start with Track 1, the title track, Human After All. I like this song. It's not perfect, but to put in my cliff notes, the riff is nice, the beat is hot, and it's the only title track Daft Punk ever really had. You know, it's a pretty strong start for the album, but it only gets worse and then better and then worse from here. I'm a little biased towards this one, mainly because I feel bad for this song and for this entire album. There are some songs that I am biased a little bit against. I just want to make this clear, I love Daft Punk. They're my second favorite band, second only to AC/DC. They're smart enough to know not to come after them. They're the rock gods. Anyway, this is track 2, Prime Time of Your Life. And to quote myself in my cliff notes, I'm a little biased against this one. I'm not going to lie. Not because of the song, it's the music video. Thomas and Guimond were on something else when they made it. The beat is weak and the riff isn't good. Isn't as good as the previous track. If you don't know who Thomas and Guimond are, they're the two members of the band. They dress up like robots to hide their identities. I don't do any fancy dress-up things because I find it kind of stupid. But with their case, it looks cool. It's stylish. Tomás Bengalter and Guy Manuel de Homem Cristo. Yeah, I know a lot about them. And yeah, the beat is kind of weak. It needs a little bit of beefing. Mainly because it doesn't smack you in the face like in some of the other tracks. And the riff is just sort of non-existent. That and it sounds like the static from scanning through my radio. More on that in a second. In all honesty, it could have used a hook other than its title. And then we've got track 3, Robot Rock. This is a better song than track 1. I'm not going to lie. It was one of the 2 commercially successful songs off this album. The beat is even stronger than track 1, and it smacks you in the face with that opening. Sorry if that sounded a little stupid, but you know, it just smacks you in the face with awesome. To describe the music video, it's basically look up any AC/DC music video. It's just them performing on a stage with set pieces. Although I will give this to Daft Punk, Thomas does look, the double-headed Gibson SG look pretty cool. Basically, this song used a sample from a song called Release the Beast by Breakwater. And they respected this copyright law. Keep in mind, they're from France. They don't really know the US copyright law. I wouldn't think they would at the time. But they did learn by then that you can't not credit somebody. In fact, they even credited people before they did this album and after. Track 4 is Steam Machine. I can't even talk about this thing without saying this is an even weaker version of Prime Time. Seriously, this is track 2's revenge. The beat is just choppy and the riff is bulky and clunky and doesn't really know what to do with itself. I will give it this, the whispery part is a pretty good pun. It goes, Steam Machine. Because, like, you know, Steam Machine, steam hisses. Yeah. Track 5, Make Love. This is a half-decent track that tries to be Digital Love from Discovery. It's at least trying, and that's literally what I wrote in my Cliff Notes. That's all I can say about this album. Track 6, The Brainwasher. Again, I have nothing to say, so referring back to the Cliff Notes. The worst song on the album. They didn't even try. It's Steam Machine's Revenge. This song is just stupid. It uses an okay sample of Iron Man by Black Sabbath. It's okay. What I don't like is the beat and the riff. It gets brain-crunchingly repetitive, to the point where you actually feel like you're getting dumber the more you listen to it. Track 7, On Off, they just recorded themselves flipping through radio stations. Cliff Notes. Television rules the nation. I have to give credit to this one. It's not the best in the world. It's good for what it is, and they could have EQ'd it a little better. But the riff, hook, and beat are just all in your face, and it just sounds good. Think track 3 of this album, and actually no, it's just track 3 with a weaker beat, slightly weaker, marginally weaker. Track 9, Technologic. This is the only song people remember this album for, other than Robot Rock. They released 3 music videos in support of this album. Track 2, Track 3, and Track 9. This is Track 9. This is the one that everybody remembers. Not because it's good or bad or creepy. It's just an acid trip to go through. It's like watching a White Stripes music video. The only colors they use are red, black, and white. Basically, a little robot shouts commands at you saying to buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick, erase it. It gets a little monotonous after like 9 million times the robot says it. But it's got a good bass, and it's got a good beat, and it's got a good riff, and it's got a well-planned hook. Again, the EQing ruins it slightly, just marginally. To quote the Cliff Notes, think Robot Rock, harder, better, faster, stronger, and around the world fused together and on steroids. That's how good this song is. And the final track, Track 10, Emotion. It's the weaker technologic. It inputs from the riff from the previous track, just with a slower beat. It's half decent. I'll give it that. It at least sounds good. And now for my final verdict. And as the Cliff Notes say, underrated. It could have been EQ'd better, but I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. We've all heard worse music. The 4 guilty tracks are Track 2, 4, 6, and 7. Because either they were lazy, or in the case of Track 2, the music video was freaking scary. Anyway, that's that. Now, to go back to my checklist. What's the other thing I don't want to do today? Play Sonic 2. I'll do that after a while. I need to do some things around the house.